Welcome to a new fragrance review. Today I'm gonna tell you my top 5 fragrance from the 80s. So a little bit of a disclaimer before I keep going. I was born in 88, so basically in the 80s I was not really smelling fragrance, and all those fragrances are that I'm gonna put in my top 5. It's actually fragrance that I've known over time, especially in the recent years. So maybe there are some obscure 80s fragrance that if you were in the 80s would have been really good, that don't exist anymore, that were super good, that will fit in the top 5 better than other of these fragrance. But I mean, I wasn't there, you know. So the only fragrance I can put are actually fragrance that either smelled or at least maybe some that I own also. So this is why I'm gonna go with the top 5 that might be different from someone that actually was adult or at least teenager in the 80s. So let's start with number 5. And number 5, it's Dracar Noir by Guy Laroche. And this fragrance is actually the first fragrance that I blind bought. And I remember I don't know how old I was, in my early 20s. I went to a store, I heard that fragrance was good, I saw it was cheap, I bought it, and I started to wear it. It's a nice fragrance. It's a fougère. It smells, I would say, like wood, like a forest. Not like wood, but really like a forest. And in summer, I think it's a really nice fragrance. It smells good. It smells really like, I would say, a forest smells like. The thing is that in winter, there's a strong soapy note, and also there's I don't know, lemon or lemongrass note in the fragrance that's really present, really prominent. So in winter, it's not super nice to wear, unless you like those notes. But for me, it's not a nice fragrance to wear in winter, but in summer, it's really nice. It's a beautiful fragrance. And number 4, it's Dior Fahrenheit. And this fragrance, people say it smells like gasoline. And I would say on my skin it does smell like gasoline. I think a lot of it is on the skin and the skin chemistry of people. So if you think it doesn't smell like gasoline, it might be because either you smell differently or your skin makes it smell differently. It's a nice fragrance, I would say, especially from the 80s. Fragrance used to be like really crazy and powerful, and this one is not crazy and powerful. It's something I could pull off in summer. Also, it won't all be stuff to pull off in summer in the list, but it smells nice. There's a beautiful violet note and leather note. It's a really different fragrance, and I would say that this fragrance probably was a big influence on maybe not Tom Ford himself, but on the Tom Ford brand for the fragrance Tuscan Leather. They're really different, but I feel like the kind of accord that's used inside of it, the feel, I think it had an influence, if not just by the fact that it's a leather fragrance. And it's a nice fragrance, really, to try. The bad thing is that from all the fragrances I'm gonna tell about it today, it's the most expensive one, and I would say by far it's the most expensive one, but still something you should go in a store and go smell it. Number 3, Bijan Man, and this fragrance from all the fragrances on this list is the one that is the less known. It smells really good. It smells like oak moss, like crazy. It smells also like cloves. And what's nice about this fragrance also, it's not that it just smells good, it's also a project like crazy. People like in another room of you might be able to smell it. And it's a really nice fragrance. It's powerful. If you want something that people notice you and you like 80s fragrance, this one would be the best. Number 2, it's Furio by Jacques Bogart. And this is also a really beautiful fragrance. It got discontinued for a while and then it came back, and this is the version that came back that I'm having right here. I haven't talked about it, but except for the number one fragrance, all of them are like the newest version you can find. It smells a lot like Aramis 900 if you smelled it, but it lasts longer, and it's not a linear fragrance like Aramis 900. This one turns from the little floral, like geranium, rose kind of fragrance that's really elegant, really fresh, and really nice also in summer, but nice through the year, but especially in summer. And then turn into a strong oak moss fragrance that could remind you somewhat of another fragrance by Jacques Bogart, which is One Man Show. If you like One Man Show, the dry down of this one, of both of these fragrances, are pretty similar and last for a long time. Smells super good, and it's also one that's not really known. It has to be rediscovered, this one. And number one, it's Koran by Antonio Puig, and this one I haven't looked what date it was made, but it got like different atomizer. I've got all three Koran, and the two other one I know they were new. This one I got it used, and it's not the same spray, so that's why I imagine it's the old formulation. It smells just crazy. Tobacco, a lot of oak moss, a lot of pine, some leather. It's a beautiful fragrance. It reminds me when I was young. I don't know, I'm sure I smelled someone that had that fragrance, a teacher, some friends of my parents. I don't know. I'm sure I smelled someone with that fragrance. It smells really good, really nice. And if there's one perfume that I would buy a second bottle in case, it would be this one. So, hope you enjoyed this video. If it's the case, well, like and share. If you have a different top 5 or another fragrance from the 80s that you think it's really nice that I should take a look at it, just tell me in the comment. So, thanks for watching, and see you soon.